Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to Pattern a Day on the Living Process YouTube channel, where we go through the book A Pattern Language by Christopher Alexander and team, where they explored how do designers and the occupants of buildings discover good solutions using adaptive rules of thumb. So, degrees of publicness. This is the pattern of today. We're all familiar with this. This is about the distinction between public and private. Doesn't that touch a lot of nerves? Yes. So instead of being bivalent about that, saying that here is the public realm, the public square, this is my private life, get out of my bedroom, all of those things. Quite clearly, they're talking about how do we solve this with degrees of publicness, something that's semi-public, something that's semi-private. How does that play out? Well, we shall see. Stating the problem, as always, people are different, and the way they want to place their houses in a neighborhood is one of the most basic kinds of difference. Here we go. Imagine people choosing how houses are placed in a neighborhood. Therefore, make a clear distinction between three kinds of homes. There, give people an option instead of this factory 20th century, they're all the same. Make a clear distinction between three kinds, so allow a variety. Those on quiet backwaters, those on busy streets, and those that are more or less in between. See, here's the gradient part. Make sure that those on quiet backwaters are on twisting paths, and that these houses are themselves physically secluded. Make sure that the more public houses are on busy streets with many people passing by all day long, and that the houses themselves are relatively exposed to the passerby. The in-between houses may be located on the paths halfway between the two. Give every neighborhood about equal number of these three kinds of homes. Well, one could suppose here that in the detail that they go into, that this could have a lot to do with accommodating and making things very nice for different types of extroverted or introverted people. There are the people who want to have a very private house where no one bothers them. And then you want the people who just love being around the energy of other people, who love people watching, seeing people go by, waving to everybody. And that makes sense to have that type of house as well. And then not to have these people be enemies of each other, which I think is probably what legacy media and mainstream media would like to do, or ends up doing, one of the consequences. Instead of that, you have all of these types of houses because, and this is all because of the shape of the street and where you place the houses. And the diagram that we've put in the thumbnail at the beginning here, that makes a difference. So yeah, the beginning, yes, flipping the left and the right. That's happening in this election. No, so anyways, that's the pattern for today. This was a kind of fun one. I think that's very important to have different houses in different areas for people. We have, you're going to see more types of gradients, intimacy gradient in the case of a specific house. That one comes up significantly later in the book Pattern Language, and that's one of my most favorite patterns. And I think that when you're building the interior of a house, that one is very important. The idea of atrium, hallway, living room, kitchen, bedroom, how you take care of all that. I have an associate of mine calling. Put that on mute for the moment. So now, let's see what's coming up next. Number 37 is going to be house cluster, getting more and more fine detailed. So, stay tuned for that tomorrow, next time, on Living Process. Thank you for listening.